Hi guys, welcome to another 100 Days video. Subnautica is a game about a man who accidentally crash landed into an ocean alien world. With only his tools to defend himself, he encounters multiple alien creatures that are out to devour him. Today I'll be surviving 100 days in Minecraft Subnautica. Well, minus the big monsters, but the whole world's just gonna be an ocean with its own biomes. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Our journey begins with me spawning along the ocean, and then I saw the pod with a lot of goodies. I got the oxygen tank and filled it up so I can go to the water, and then crafted myself some tools so we can finally start. While swimming around, I found these sunken ships and that have like bookshelves and furnaces which I can use since there aren't really any trees around to get wood easily. Since there isn't any wood, I had to harvest some corals which I can turn into wood. I also looted the shipwrecks for wood planks since they are pretty rare in this world. Dug down after the third day so I can craft and get some resources and more iron. While exploring after my cave visit and getting resources, I ran into a biome full of skeletons with swords. It says that it's called the Dead Coral biome. I explored again and found a new biome called Luminous Kelp Forest. It was full of annoying underwater creepers called bombfish, and all of them really wanted to blow me up. I also harvested some of the glowing fruit on the kelp since it was for some recipes in the mod. I spent the whole day collecting more materials like corals so I can get more wood and killed some fish so that I can have something to eat when I get hungry. I decided to expand the pod since the space there is kind of getting crowded for me, so I removed the iron on the sides and then added more platforms to it so it'll make it more circular. I added some build-only iron blocks which you can get from the sunken ship and some lava stone from the underground to give it a black and white pattern. I gathered some sand and smelted it so I can put glass dome on the top of my pod, make it look like Sandy's treehouse from SpongeBob. Since I got bored of just staying on and building the house, I decided to go down an underwater cave and fought some really annoying mobs. Since this is like Subnautica, if you're like under the ground and you don't like heat up, you're gonna get like frostbite and it damages you like from time to time, kind of like poison. While I was mining, I finally found some diamonds, and then I started to craft some tools with the diamonds that I got. I found myself traveling along the ice caps, so I decided to kill one of those walrus that's just standing there. It fought back a lot, but I managed to kill it and I got some blubber and some leather. I finally found obsidian from some sort of lava biome, which I'll use for my enchantment table and the portal that I want to make. While I was mining, I ran into a drown and a few sharks just roaming around the area. It was a bit scary, but I managed to get some of what I need. I made myself some needle and thread to progress to the mod. Apparently it prevents frostbite if you have leather armor, so I need them for the crafting recipe since the leather is kind of hard to come by. I also made myself some enchantment table to boost up my tools and used the obsidian I got to make some sort of water elemental sword. I fished for a bit in the ocean since the full world is full of water. Might as well do it and get some good stuff. While I was mining for some obsidian, I ran into some mangrove and I wanted to like mine the wood so I can turn them into planks, but it was pretty much useless when I put it in the crafting table. I found some great white sharks lurking nearby, so I decided to kill them and they would drop something totally I would not recommend. I noticed that the smaller gray shark was a lot more aggressive than the bigger ones. After getting the shark fins, I made some sort of battle drum that spawned a boss when I right-clicked it on the water. It spawned a giant ray and it dropped some color items called chameleon scales. For the next day, I decided to make some bookshelves for my enchantment table rooms that I'll make beside my base. After gathering the materials of the next bow weapon of the mod, I finally got it, but it was a bit ineffective in water since it just falls down. I dug down once again and found some more diamonds and other ores such as lapis, iron, and gold. The magma blocks were annoying since they kept pulling me down to the ground, but they were useful since they prevented me from getting frostbite, which damages me a lot. I noticed that there were a lot of dead pufferfish corpses roaming around, and I figured that it was because of a shark that's been doing it, so I killed it so it doesn't kill more fishes. I also started to build my nether portal, but I think I'll need a little more obsidian before I can do that. I started to plot what my enchantment room will look like, but I feel like I'd want to make it more bigger. That's why for the whole day or two, I started to gather some sand and get some glass to make another area for the enchantment table. I gave the new house a good floor pattern of black and white along with glass walls, just like the other pod. I then started to place the bookshelves for the enchantment table, but it's just not enough yet to get huge levels. After collecting some more sand and iron ore and smelting it, I finally have enough to build materials to build the whole shelter. Since I needed more books to finish the enchantment room, I decided to loot some sunken ships, but there were too many sharks in the area and they do massive damage if I'm not careful. Finally, I got some good books, so I decided to enchant my diamond tools so that they have some decent enchantment at least. Not an OP tool, but it'll do for now. The enchantment table was sorta done, so I went back to the lava zone to get some more obsidian so I can finish my portal and use it for some crafting recipes of the mod I have. After getting the materials, I then decided to make the gun that's in the mod a reality. It's called a psych gun. I'm not exactly sure how to use it. One of the crafting recipes requires me to get a core of floating, so I went ahead to go to the floating island biome and got one of the floating core at the middle of it. It was nighttime, so I slept, but I didn't realize that it didn't light up the enchantment room, so now a bunch of creepers blew up and just damaged it. I'm so going to have to repair this. After finally building the Nether portal, I'm finally in the Nether. By the way, this Nether is before the Nether update, so it's honestly kind of boring to look at, but the only reason I'm here is to get the blaze rods and eyes of Ender to see if I can finish the game with going through the stronghold. After roaming around the Nether a bit, I finally found another fortress and I was aimed to find a blaze spawner so I can get some blaze rod. I found one and a lot of them spawned, but thankfully I have some fish to eat. I then found this enderman and we had like a minute fight since it kept teleporting, but it went to the lava so it was burning. I got back out of the Nether and started to craft the eyes of Ender with the blaze powder and the ender pearl, but when I try to throw it, it just won't be thrown. I feel like the ocean world didn't really spawn a stronghold, so that's why it's not working. Scratch to defeat the Nether plan, I guess. With a few messing around with the crafting recipes, I was able to make a gravity gun that's able to pull mobs away and towards me. It wasn't as cool as I thought though. I kind of got bored, so I started to mine for some ores. I was aiming to find some more diamonds so I can get like a full diamond armor set, but the frostbite effect is really making it hard to stay there since it damaged me the longer I stay. I had to craft a few useless stuff so I can progress through the mod, so I had to make a torch that I'm never really going to use and a pressure meter since when I'm down under the water, the pressure is high and it damages me. For the next crafting recipe, I had to find some cone shells since they drop silts when you kill them, and I need that venom flask to make another one of those guns in the mod. Took me some time, but I was able to find one there near coral reefs and kelp forest, and they dropped some, which is pretty great. While I was roaming around, I found a cute walrus just standing around the iceberg. It looks so cute, I was so tempted to kill it. The next day, I had to go to a yucky looking forest called the Irradiated Forest since I need to grab some living root for a crafting recipe of the mod. I also hunted myself some fish along the way and used a gravity gun on the jellyfish, which seems to pull it to me, so I got damaged. I went back home and I finally got enough living root to make a fluorescent light. I don't know how it works though, so I just put it on top of my base. I needed more silt, so I hunted for some more cone snails, but I ran into a biome where it spawned skeletons with sword again, and they were just obnoxious to deal with since they dealt some damage. I used my bow to shoot some of them, but there were just a lot of annoying bomb fish that explode everywhere. After killing so much cone shells, getting plant extract, I was able to make myself a venom flask, which gives my attack poison every time I hit. It's pretty cool, but it was a lot of work though. I came to the Nether to collect some quartz so I can get some XP. I then found a Nether fortress and then beat some annoying wither skeletons and magma cubes. I'm sort of looking for blazes and some more Nether warts since I wanted to make a potion area. I got back up in the surface to craft some armor since I got some of it during my cave expedition. I then went to my enchantment table so I can give some enchantments, though they suck for now. I got a bit lost in some underwater cave since I was trying to mine for some stuff, but it wasn't that bad at least. The frostbite was annoying though, since it damages me. Also, these annoying blaze bush things set you on fire. It's so really annoying. I realized that going on top of the magma cubes prevent me from getting damaged through the frostbite, so I just stood there to get my temperature up. Also, for some reason, sharks were everywhere in this biome, so I just killed some of them. When I got back and smelled some of the iron, I went out to see creepers and spiders outside of my house. Hopefully they didn't blow up anything. I decided to expand the area, so I made another glass circle thing so I can place my nether portal there. I built it like how I used to build the others, but I added some nether bricks in the floor for decoration. Since I was going to make this like a nether portal room, I could have at least made it like nether themed. I also smelted some sand again to get some glass so I can fill the walls. I ran out of iron blocks, so I had to go loot a shipwreck once again, since the build needed a lot of it. I finally finished up covering the whole area with glass now. I just needed to decorate it, make it more nether-like. So I dismantled the portal so I can put it on the nether portal area. It took quite a while though, since obsidian takes so long to break. While working on the room, I got myself some more obsidian since it'll fit the nether room well. After that, I smelted some nether bricks and made some stairs for some decoration. I then added some decoration on the side so I can put like soul sand and nether warts on the area. After I got my silk touch pickaxe enchantment, I went to the nether so I can grab some of the spawners so I can make a blaze spawner. I mined some of quartz on the way since I needed some levels. I had way too much fun roaming around that I accidentally hit a pigman, so I had to go up and kill all of them that got attracted. I finally found the fortress after waiting for so long, and there's just so many annoying mobs to deal with. This fortress has more wither skeletons that I can deal with. The blaze spawner's over there, but I can't reach it because there's too many blaze and they'll toast me. When I finally mined it though, nothing just dropped. It was just completely waste of time. Since I got that blaze rods and the nether wart, I decided to make some brewing sand so I can finally make the potion. I also replaced the middle with dirt since I was planning on adding a tree there. Kinda like how Sandy has hers. I also moved my chest to the side since I was clearing out the middle. I got some sand and proceeded to fill out the middle of it since I decided to make it an aquarium instead of a tree. I started to fill it with water, though I'm thinking of adding a hole on the ground so sea creatures can just enter and go as they please. A dolphin is hanging out inside of the tank though, as I was building it. I then added some kelp at the bottom to give it that more natural look. I tried to put fish into the tank, but it immediately just gets out because they don't really want it to stay. So I just put like a green emerald sand on the bottom of the tank to make it look like it has grass on it. The tank was complete, so I added some decorations like corals I found, and I also added some fish in the tank. Though there's a jellyfish that kept poisoning me, even though I can't touch it for some reason. I also grabbed some nautilus to put it into the tank. I placed the squid I found on the tank and decided to progress through the mod by gathering the materials and making myself a gun that can affect the time apparently. It's like a freeze gun where it just froze any mob. I went to the nether so I can test out the gun on the pigment and it worked since they all froze in time. And then I went back to find multiple forges so I can farm more wither skeletons so I can spawn the wither. It took quite a while since getting 3 heads was rather rare. I finally went back to the overworld after getting 3 wither heads, but before I fight them, I decided to make myself some potion so I'll be a lot easier to kill him. After that, I headed down to a cave so the wither can't escape me easily and spawned it there. Took a while to kill him though, but I did it and it dropped a nether star. I then returned back to the house and added another fish into the tank and then gathered the materials so I can finally craft the beacon. I tried to place it on a build only iron that I can use, which is a lot cheaper than regular iron blocks, but it just doesn't work, so it only works on genuine ones. I researched that the whole thing needed at least 164 blocks to complete, so I spent the few days mining non-stop for iron, gold, and diamonds that I would get from a cave. It was just so much work. Like seriously. Imagine having to mine so much blocks just to fill this beacon. But it was just to get buffs for the beacon, I guess. After getting some of iron, diamonds, and gold, I decided to build a platform that I'm going to put the beacon on. I used to build only iron blocks that I got from the sunken ships, so it fits the theme of the house. Started placing the iron blocks that's 9 by 9 on the area, but I'm still waiting for some of the iron to smelt into the furnaces. I also then put on the gold that on the second layer, but it was nighttime and mobs were spawning. I grabbed the remaining iron blocks and then proceeded to put it on the top of the pyramid, and then collected all the diamond blocks and added them on the pyramid as well, so the beacon can have 4 layers now. Next day, I added some complements to the beacon area by adding fences around the areas of it so it has decoration and stuff. I went back to the nether shortly since I kinda wanted to make another beacon, so I got more wither skeletons and then killed them again. And then I finally got 3 heads. After I got the soul sand and 3 wither skeleton heads, I went to a cave and proceeded to spawn the wither there. Though this time I had some trouble killing it since apparently there was a ravine near me and multiple mobs were just luring it everywhere, which was really annoying to follow. After I killed it, there was just some alien looking fish that just grabbed me and then just bashed me around everywhere. It was so creepy. Finally got home and then made a beacon and then placed it on the pyramid. And that finally ends our 100 days video.